Been running with that kid tech, so the Drake done got a little dusty. You ain't got no business coming my review.
What's going on? It's Young Breezy here, 40 Young Pump 4. It's another very special episode. As you can see, I'm not in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a very special location. How are you today?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Like, thank you for inviting us into your space, into your lovely store. If you don't know, this is Fani, the creator, the founder of Original Fani? That's the name of the brand?
Original Fani Design.
Original Fani Design. As you can see that the F's, like, if you don't know these, like, F's has been everywhere for, like, I want to say at least, like, 10 years. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing this since I was in, like, high school, and I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
yeah, probably like a good 6 years.
Man, it's been
It feels like 10.
It feels like you're a premier brand, like, in Atlanta. If you don't know, if you're not tapped in, if you don't have a scarf, if you don't got no socks, a hat, like, you're not really plugged in. How did you get to that level?
Just time and patience, to be honest.
That's dope. So where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Chicago, but I grew up here. I went to high school here. I've been here ever since. Went to college here.
That's dope. What high school did you go to?
I went to Tri-Cities on the south side.
That's like a real thing, like in Atlanta. Like, what high school you went to? That's like some real, like, if you know type of shit.
Right.
That's dope. Did you get inspired, you know what I'm saying, from, would you say more Chicago or like Atlanta since you've been here?
My inspirations, I mean, definitely I say a lot of them come from Chicago. When I first got here, I was trying hard to like represent Chicago, even though I was in Atlanta. You know, just the mind state there, I describe it as like, at the time, like eclectic, you know, stuff I was raised on, you know, the values and stuff like that were kind of instilled in me. My grandparents, my mom, they're all from Chicago and stuff like that. So very like Afrocentric, very eclectic, a lot of sense of self.
Exactly, I love it. My family's from Chicago, my dad's side of the family, so I've been up there. I spent a lot of summers up there. And my homegirl, shout out to T. Lachey, she was on 40 Young Pump 4. She's from Chicago, and she always said, she's here in Atlanta now, but she say, Atlanta feels like a baby Chicago to me. Like,
where?
That's so cool, it's so dope. I love it. So take us back to the beginning. So were you always into fashion? Were you like a different dresser growing up?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say Chicago. A lot of what I learned about fashion came from just like Chicago rappers, like Lupe Fiasco, the Cool Kids, and then like after that Kanye West. Although I feel like they influenced him a lot in the city. You know, Ivan Jasper, like a lot of people behind him were really into like this like streetwear, and the higher level streetwear and Japanese streetwear. So listening to like a lot of Lupe Fiasco coming up, I would learn about brands, and then like, yeah, just art. Like through art and graffiti, I learned about like brands as well and how they were kind of like merging. So like a lot of like Echo and LRG and but this is like in high school, so I mean I wasn't always into fashion, but I was like really into like Asian culture. It was big when I was in high school. Toonami and Dragon Ball Z, like everyone kind of was like got a taste of anime, and then just Asian culture as a whole. I mean, I've always loved that since I was a kid, so as I grew older, I learned more and more about it, and kind of that's really the bulk of my inspiration. Like Japanese, particularly Japanese streetwear, and then like just the African American experience, like graffiti, hip hop.
Right.
Like the merger of those two things, pretty much. That's kind of like where my inspiration is drawn from.
Absolutely. Fashion and hip hop and music, they go hand in hand. It's like,
yeah,
the rappers gotta have the newest, the latest, the flyest. And speaking of that, like I was saying, I've been seeing this brand popular since I was in high school, and I graduated in 2014.
Okay.
So like I've seen rappers like 21 Savage, or you know what I'm saying, Shad Da God. The people just like, as their career grew, I always seen you and your brand around them. So how that happen? You just build organic relationships with people?
Yeah, often it's just like I come across different artists. Shad, it was someone I actually met like at my old job on Peter Street like years ago, way before my brand picked up. But when I got the store, he started coming through, supporting a lot, and you know, he kind of like, I was just kind of like talking to him about his music and stuff. But a lot of artists, I get the opportunity to come across them at an early stage in their career, and it's like not a lot of people trying to get with them. You know, people don't even know that they might be the next, so
exactly.
That's
A&R slick.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I've heard that, but yeah, like the brand that, you know, I find artists and start working with them at early stages, you know, so, and I like it that way. Obviously, like a lot of artists that get big and, you know, they're kind of like, whatever they're wearing typically changes and stuff, but like, yeah, it kind of works for me because it's like streetwear is kind of like underground to a certain extent, or should always have like an underground feeling. Even if it's big, you know, Supreme can kind of still like feel underground as big as it is.
Right.
And a lot of other brands I like have that kind of like mystique and feeling about them, so it works for me.
I would definitely say your brand is one of those. And I feel like it's dope that you bringing it up because we met at the streetwear market.
Correct.
And I was surprised to even see, like in my mind, I feel like you're like big, like you're huge. So for me to see somebody like you there and just like interacting with the people, having your own room, that was dope. So what does that mean to you to continue to go to things like that?
I mean, just like you were saying, being a premier brand in Atlanta, I feel like I have a responsibility to like be a part of, you know, whatever's happening on the local level, and just never getting too big-headed or feeling like I'm above. I mean, it's a lot of learning I did there, a lot of new kids I met who I can collaborate with. I'm big on collaboration, and now that we have this store space too, it's kind of like, you know, it's closet, it's not the Fani store, so it's a home for different kids can come here and do pop-ups and get an opportunity to like sell their brand, you know, next to mine, which I think is cool because I'm still learning. So
That's amazing. I want to talk about where we are now.
Okay.
How long have you had this store?
So I've been here. This store is a partnership with City of Ink, which is the tattoo shop that's next door to us, and they've been there for now probably 15 years, but I've been in this space for like 4 years. It's just been like a work in progress. I kind of just came and set up shop one day, and then I started to like bring more stuff, more toys. My inventory grew, and then just kind of like working with different people locally, finding like different brands that are tight. Now we kind of got a residency of a couple different brands that are in the store, but it's ever changing, which I think keeps it fresh. And it also gives us the opportunity to like not sit on inventory. We don't really do sales on things because it's like it's changing. So, you know.
That's amazing. I love that. You're giving somebody else an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like other people, other designers. Y'all definitely need to tap in. This is amazing. So where did the design come from? Like I always wanted to know like how. Like it's so simple, but like it's very effective.
Well, there's a brand called Comme des Garçons, and they use a lot of polka dot pattern, and it's interesting too because like the polka dot pattern, it's not necessarily theirs, but they kind of made it theirs in a way. So, I mean, when I got into, first it started as like a T-shirt, which was like original Fani, which is like a flip of another logo I like, and it was T-shirts and. Like, I don't know, I always felt like clothes aren't, I mean, you definitely can make clothes unique, but I feel like they're very, like, basic to a certain extent. Like, a T-shirt is, like, probably as basic as you get as a clothing brand. So, I was making the T-shirt, and I was really just giving it out because I was doing graphic design, and it was kind of like a gift of appreciation or something you could do to represent. I also had the blog too, so I figured like if I had artists in the shirt and I was posting their music on the blog, it looked like, you could see that the relationship was like there, outside of like blogs that just snatched up. And I kind of got that idea from Hill Roots. So it was like a combination of all these ideas, and then I realized like, well, people are probably wearing a t-shirt at one time, or I'm not getting the opportunity to get a picture in them, or it's just different how people go about shirts and stuff. Then it's like you have tons of shirts. Me personally, I know I have like over 200 t-shirts, so it's like, but your accessories are like kind of like, they go into rotation. So I made the pattern, put my logo on the pattern, and then I put it on bandanas, and I took them to South by Southwest. It's just the bandana was like something that was cheap to manufacture, and it wouldn't hurt for me to like give it away. A big part of this whole thing and everything I've been doing is like I give away, and I call it seeding now, but product placement is another word for it as well. But just like giving stuff to the right people, because it just started with my friends. I gave all my friends bandanas, so I was like, oh, I'll pay for that. I was like, oh, okay. And the rest is like,
right. Everywhere, it's like you had to have one. Like it was like a stamp of coolness or something like that. That's super dope. I was talking to my homeboy at the streetwear market when we met you, and he was like, wow, I didn't even know that was him. I never even seen him before. I seen the brand, but I've never seen him before. Is that like on purpose? Do you kind of like move?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like a mixture. I mean, I think like if more people knew my face, sometimes I would be a bit bigger. I think that's like, people like to associate themselves with the person behind the brand now.
Right.
But I think it's also cool because I want people to know the brand more than me. My name's in my brand as well too, so I just feel like it's really important to like, protect myself, my reputation, and then the brand reputation, and then those things separated, and you could like the brand and not like me, or vice versa, so that's important to me. But then last but not least, like again, I'm a big fan of like a bunch of different brands, and you really gotta be into the brand to know the guy behind it. I think like that is more popular these days because all the information is on the internet. It's not so hard to find. But back when I first fell in love with this stuff, like everyone didn't know or really care what the guy who was doing the brand looked like, because they were just in love with the brand and whatever that meant. So it's just kind of like a mixture of like my teachings and what I feel like is cool.
I feel it. It works. It absolutely works. So what's next for you? Do we have like another collection that's on the way? It's like a special, a collab?
I have kind of like considered like releasing an entire collection around next summer. It seems like that's what people want, and it's also an opportunity to show like people that I can do it, because I guess that is like, it's just what's common. It's what people expect from brands. So that's cool for me. Like collection 1, 5 years in, but currently I drop piece per piece as I learn, and it's funny because like over time, like everything doesn't sell out. I'm making a lot more stuff, so you have a collection of items like I have in the store now. It's like different things I've been releasing throughout the summer. But yeah, I just got into jewelry recently. Thank you. This was something I kind of like drew up 4 years ago. Just found out how to produce it in the last year. And this is like, I just came out with the gold, which is like, I don't even really typically like gold, but I try stuff with like my stuff. It's kind of like cheap coding.
You can do anything. Like I swear, like because the brand is the brand now. It's like so big and it's so like what it is. I feel like you can put it on almost anything and it'll sell. Like glasses, toothbrushes, like literally.
Yeah, that's the idea to like create like a lifestyle. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. That's super dope. Look, so what's an advice you can give, for people who didn't talk to you at the streetwear market or people who don't know you everyday? You seem like a, real just life happens kind of guy. So what is the secret behind that?
I mean, my advice to people is, I think the first thing I always say is do your research. Everything you see that I've done or whatever, I kind of like took it or learned it or, liked how someone else or something I loved was doing it and found my own type of way to do it. So I think that's first and foremost is to do your research. And then two, it's like, you got to travel. I think like a lot of resources that you might need for fashion. Everything isn't here. A lot of things are here. A lot of things are online, but just moving around, talking to other people in the industry is really important. It's really important. Talking to people who are bigger than you, or just learning from people. I think that's really important. And then the last thing too is just like, you gotta have faith in your own people and yourself. It's like a lot of artists people have seen my stuff on, but a lot of them, like I had relationships with again before they were big, or the first artists I was working with were just my friends, and they kind of blew up, but we didn't know, we were just all working together, and I was like, I'm gonna have a brand, and you guys are gonna rap, and you're gonna take pictures, and so it's like, that's also something that's really important, just to have faith in yourself and the people around you. It's like, I see it and I like give all my stuff to my friends first, not just like whatever celebrities
you think are hot or you think it's gonna get your brand popular.
Yeah. But locally too, it's like just like it might be a kid who dresses really cool around you, and it's like, fuck with him, just as much as you're trying to work with and give something to, your favorite rapper and stuff like that.
I love that.
You gotta balance it.
You gotta believe in your team, believe in yourself, and stay down, like Fani said.
Right.
Look, I wanna thank you for inviting us into your space and inviting us to your store. This was amazing. This was great. This is another episode of Superstar. It's the real superstar, 40 Young Pump, 40 Young Breezy. I'm bringing it to you first, and we out.